Hey everyone, so this is going to be a really quick video just talking about my experience living gluten-free. Now, what is gluten, you ask? Gluten is a protein that's found in wheat, rye, and barley, sometimes oats. Even any derivative of wheat, rye, or barley, including malt flavorings, counts as having gluten. Who would live gluten-free, you ask? I know I was asking myself that. Well, people who have to live gluten-free have something called celiac disease. You can find out more at www.celiac.org. Now, before I get into my video, it is very important that you do not self-diagnose yourself as being someone who has celiac disease. It is not a diet lifestyle. It is a serious disease. For people with celiac disease, eating gluten causes damage to their small intestine and doesn't allow them to absorb food correctly. It's very important for you to go to the doctor and have blood tests done if you believe you may have celiac disease and might need to lead a gluten-free lifestyle. Again, do not self-diagnose. That's very important. So when you go to the Celiac Disease Foundation website at www.celiac.org, they're great. They introduce people who are just finding out that they have to live gluten-free. There's a quick start guide on food and diet options. Also, they have a great section on grocery stores that offer foods that are gluten-free, as well as awareness events and any kind of donations that you'd like to make to the foundation to help find treatments or a cure for the disease. So just to give you an idea of what kinds of foods do not contain gluten that are safe for people with celiac disease to eat, I made a little list, and yes, I'm going to read from it. Corn or anything corn-based, beans, butter, cheeses in most brands are okay. Cottage cheese, eggs, shellfish, honey, fruit, vegetables, vegetable oils are okay. Meat is okay as long as it's not processed, because if you have a hot dog or a sausage, the casing may in some cases include flour or gluten products. Millet and nuts are okay as long as the nuts are not dry roasted. Quinoa is also okay. Rice or anything rice-based, soybeans are okay to eat as long. You cannot have soy sauce though. Soybeans are okay. Soy sauce does contain gluten, so that's a no-no. Sugar, tofu, yeast, and yogurt are also safe foods for people with celiac disease to eat. And again, this is just a very brief list. There are way more foods that are safe to eat. Please go to the website and find out. Some gluten-free drinks include water, of course, milk and soda, tea, and freshly ground coffee, and of course, if you're over 21, champagne is alright, vodka, wine, and wine coolers. Really, the only thing you can't drink when you're living gluten-free is beer, and even in some cases, there are new beers that are out that do not involve using flour or any gluten-free products, or barley, or rye. You're probably wondering how people who live with celiac disease eat things like bread and cakes and cupcakes. Well, there are definitely a lot of substitutes that can be used in place of wheat flour to make such goody treats and to maintain a balanced diet for the people who suffer from the disease. And some of these include, and yes, I'm going to read from my list again, almond flour, amaranth, arrowroot, buckwheat, cornmeal, potato starch, quinoa, rice flour, soy flour, and tapioca starch. Also, gram flour, spelt G-R-A-M, gram flour. Okay, so my personal experience living gluten-free for 40 days and 40 nights was a little bit difficult. At first, it started out, I was eating a lot of rice and beans, and that was it. And then I kind of branched out and I started adding a little bit of fish to my diet and not really seasoning it with a whole lot, because a lot of seasonings and sauces include gluten products, so it was very difficult. But I did find some lovely gems that helped me get through it. So nowadays, a lot of grocery stores are including gluten-free products on their shelves, which is wonderful because it made my life a lot easier for the 40 days and 40 nights, and it just took a little bit of extra time to really look. But now even at Ralph's, they're specially labeling their gluten-free products so it's easier to access them in the grocery store. And Trader Joe's has always offered wonderful gluten-free products, including these wonderful waffles, which had become a big staple in my mornings because I love pancakes and waffles, and this helped a lot to at least get me through the morning, and then I could think about lunch. One of my big finds was sweet potato fries from Ore-Ida, which are gluten-free. They're labeled gluten-free right here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Trust me, they are gluten-free, and they were wonderful to snack on, just to have something to eat that wasn't so stuffy, and it was fun, and I could have ketchup with it, which was great. Now, even after about 2 weeks of living gluten-free, I was getting a little sick of trying to cook at home, and I was desperate to go out with my friends and eat. So it was a mission of mine to find restaurants that offered gluten-free meals to their patrons, and I lucked out because there are quite a few, which was very exciting. One big chain that I realized offers a complete gluten-free menu is P.F. Chang's. And if you turn their regular menu over, the whole back side of the menu is dedicated to people who cannot eat gluten. And let me tell you, their food is still great with or without gluten. It doesn't taste any different. It's just safer for people with celiac disease to process. A lot of Thai restaurants also are naturally gluten-free because of the noodles they use. They use a lot of rice noodles, which I did find a bag of rice noodles at the grocery store called Rad Nam noodles, and they're kind of like glass noodles, but you can cook them the same way you cook regular pasta noodles with wheat, and you can still make the best meals you want to. It's just all about creativity. So okay, so we've done P.F. Chang's and Thai food and noodles, but what if you want something else? What if you want like a pizza? Well, there is a wonderful place called Garlic Jim's Famous Gourmet Pizzas that is certified by the Celiac Disease Foundation as being certified gluten-free pizzas that they prepare for people with celiac disease. And let me tell you, they don't taste any different than a normal pizza, which is great because I am from a place where pizzas are a huge deal. So if the pizza is bad, forget it. But Garlic Jim's, their pizzas, they'll make it any way you want it, but if you need it to be gluten-free, they are specially certified to prepare it for you as such. In-N-Out was another big chain that I heard that also prepares gluten-free burgers for their patrons. It's just a matter of taking away the bread and substituting for lettuce, which is also healthier for you, but if you really want a burger, they will make sure that it is prepared specially for you and not cross-contaminated with any of their other products that don't contain gluten. Again, I mentioned earlier that Chex cereals are also certified by the Celiac Disease Foundation as being gluten-free, and they do have 5 flavors, all of which are great, and they taste like normal cereal, and they are a wonderful way, along with the waffles, to start your morning if you're living with celiac disease. Bisquick, I found this wonderful gem. Bisquick offers gluten-free pancake mix, which is based with rice flour, I believe, instead of wheat flour, and if you just add a little dash of cinnamon in there, well, even if you didn't add cinnamon in there, you still couldn't tell the difference between the pancake mixes. But you jazz up your pancakes however you want, you're really not going to tell the difference. But for people who cannot process gluten, Bisquick is out there looking out there for you and also helping you trying to start the day off right. Now, I didn't actually know about this last place until after my 40 days and 40 nights were concluded, but I was so glad I did because now I can share it with you. Recently in the Los Angeles area, a woman named Pam McDonald opened up a 100% gluten-free market called Pam McD's Gluten-Free Market, obviously, dedicated to people who live with celiac disease, just to make it easy for one-stop shopping for them so they don't have to go from grocery store to find bread and fruits and foods that are safe for them to eat. I have not personally been there, but I went on her website, www.pammcds.com, and I browsed around a little bit, and it was very informative. She really wanted to create a place that was safe for people with celiac disease to shop in and not have to worry about if the food is cross-contaminated with other products, so that they can live a normal life and be able to just eat food like everybody else and not have to think about, is this safe, is this not safe, and they can just go in there and know that everything in there is certified by the Celiac Disease Foundation for them that is okay to eat. So I think that's thumbs up for Pam McDonald for creating that. Just wanted to share my experience with you all about that. And again, if you have any other questions about living gluten-free, visit the Celiac Disease Foundation website, www.celiac.com. And remember, again, do not self-diagnose. Please go see a doctor if you think that you may have an intolerance to gluten, which is what I did, and I tested it out, and thankfully I don't have celiac disease, but I did go to a doctor before changing my diet and lifestyle for the situation. So do not self-diagnose, do not use this as a diet, it's not safe as a diet. Go to a doctor if you feel like you might have an intolerance to gluten. So today's quote of the day I read in a magazine a little while back, and it's such a powerful message that I think everyone should know it. It So the quote is, don't lose sight of your goals. Do make time for all of the unpredictable, awesome things that will happen along the way. Alright, have a great day, guys. Bye.